you see my profile, you've seen that Bob Edison and I have been flying around in his airplane a couple of times, or I got to fly a couple of times in his airplane. So when Horizon Hobby announced that they were gonna make have an RV7 out, we both jumped up right away and ordered ours. Both of the airplanes arrived safe and sound, and here is gonna be just a quick build of one of the ones that we received. Comes in a nice double box for shipping. Let me get it out of the way. Just throw the box out of the way. Here is the actual box, the RV7. Nice presentation, it's blue and white. Bob's airplane is actually Royal Navy blue. So I'm going to redo this in Royal Navy blue eventually. And paint it just like his real full-size one. Let me go ahead and get the contents out of the way. And we'll go from there. First thing we have is a nice double box with the foam insert, obviously like all the other ones. Up top is the big expensive manual. We'll look at that a little bit later. We'll leave it up front over here. 3-bladed propeller and a nice accessories pack. Wing screws and a couple of other things, a couple of other bits. Right below that is the wing, the main wing. So let me get some packing out of the way, and then I can get to the main wing. Now, it's mostly already built for you, so the building process should be pretty quick, depending on experience and everything. Nice decals and some paint on the bottom of the wing. These are actually, looks like decals, and the blue is paint. Yeah, this grayish color is decals, and this is actual paint. So flaps and ailerons, looks really nice. Oh, the wings have the servo extensions sticking up, so they must automatically plug into the airplane for you. Nice little detail. Let me get further down and remove some more packing. In the little pocket here in the side, we have what looks like an elevator. Yep, it's an elevator. Again, nothing on top, and the bottom has some decals on it for it. So the second one should be in here. Yep, here's the other one. Looks like there's a hole in there for a spar, and the interconnect, if I put them the same way, same orientation, interconnect to move together with only one servo arm as well. So we'll put those over here on the side again. The top here is the spar. I guess this is for the elevators. I mean, elevator spar, since there's no wing spar. The wings are already together. Nice little blue spinner. Here we have landing gear, the wheel pans, and the struts. Again, for some reason, the gray is a decal and the blue is just painted on. So instead of painting it two colors, they just added the gray as a decal. So that'll be easy for me to remove for when I do my build into the scale one. Here is the actual fuselage. Let me get the foam out of the way. Here's a nice fuselage in there. Nice half-scale civilian pilot in there. A little bit of instruments there. Side-by-side cockpit like the real one. All your servos are installed. There's even a receiver installed. Now, I'm not using Spectrum, so that'll come out. There's no knocking it. I'm just a Futaba guy. So I have here with me already a 7-channel Futaba receiver that I'm going to use with my transmitter. So I'll just plug that up and switch it over. But it's already plugged up for you into its own receiver there. So I mean, it looks like nothing's to it. Why don't I just put it together and see what the difficulties are. Now, believe me, I talk to many people, many pilots, many builders all the time, and you get to talk to some people at the field that, oh, I've been building for 20 years, I've been doing this for, so forth and so forth. They talk a lot. This, to me, for any advanced pilot or anything like that, you should read the instructions to get the control throws and all the information in there. But if you need instructions to put something like this together, well, I hate to tell you, you might be in the beginner's stage. But that's just my perception. Don't take offense to it or anything. Here's the wing, it looks like everything plugs in. Here's the fuselage, looks like everything plugs in. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there, as it should be. Line it up. And there you go, the wing is plugged in. All the connections are made automatically. Let me look at the accessories pack and see what belongs where. Let's see what kind of screws we got. So automatically the wing has 4 slots for machine screws. Now we have a bind plug, spinner nut, excuse me. And then we have 4 long screws. Guess what? These are going to be the wing screws. So I'll go ahead and put that in there. And I think I have the right size socket, Allen wrench in here. Yes, I do. Now, when you tighten it up a wing, or when you put it in the wing in there, you don't have to over tighten it. Just put it in there till it looks snug, or where you see the seams kind of meet each other. The one shouldn't be crushed into the other one. You don't need to crush the wing on. Put 2 on, or whichever way you want. Tighten them all in. Make them be a little bit snug. You don't have to tighten them, over tighten them. You want to put them in, and then you want to come back and check them all again, because what happens is when you only have one tightened down and you tighten up the other ones, guess what? The first one's not going to be as tight as you thought it was. So go ahead and check them once you got the whole wing in there, and then you should see the difference. Did you see me spinning some of these? That it wasn't as tight as it was. So since we have it upside down, let's see the struts. They look like they snap in the fuselage. So just make the left one on the left, right one on the right, and yeah, they just snap in there. Looks like there's a hole for a plate and 2 screws. So right now we'll take a look at those plates. These have a U-shaped groove on it. Put them in there so they go all the way down. And then let's see if these plates have 2 holes on them. Oh, there you go. So there's a U-shaped groove in the fuselage, and these, one side is flat and the other one has a round on it. So just match them up with the fuselage, and obviously since I have a protrusion on it, that's going to be for the U-shaped part of the wing that's in there, or the strut. There you go. Put them in there like that. Just match the flat side and then the round side on the other side, and go ahead and put them in, and then we'll see about which screws are left. So I have 5 machine screws left. They're all the same size, so I'm going to take 4 of those and put them into the landing gear, and then we'll see where the 5th one goes later on. So I will go ahead and put this in there. One side at a time. Then go ahead and put on the screws for the other side. If it wants to go in. Wow, that screw was fighting it, didn't it? Now the gear is mostly done, just one more screw to go. There you go. Now the landing gear is nice and tight in there. I guess these are supposed to be smokestacks, you know, for the exhaust, the smokestacks, and these are the pans are done. We're gonna flip it over and go ahead and look at the elevators. There was a spar for the elevator, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm just gonna put the spar through the actual fuselage and have it ready to go. And if you notice, the control rod was on the bottom, so these are obviously gonna be blank on, or white on the top, and then the decals go on the bottom, and they interlock together in the center, like I said earlier. So there is a screw hole here and another one here. So the only thing left is one machine screw and then two small, what looks like wood screws or plastic screws, so that can be used for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there, and then I'll figure out that the actual, those screws, that's what they belong for. So one elevator in, second one in, and there's no screw holes on the top, only in the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those screws through the bottom. And they do line up perfectly with the holes that were in the elevators. So bear with me while I put that on there. Now the elevator obviously is not connected to the servo. The rudder is already there. So the only thing you have to worry about, plugging up as far as controls, it looks like alright, so it looks like the only thing we have to plug in is the actual elevators. The elevator, here's the control rod. I don't know if you can see it there in the video. The rudder's already in there. I'm gonna put in the last screw for the elevator. And then we'll see what kind of hardware we have left. Remember, you don't have to over tighten these. Just snug. You don't have to overdo it where it's crushing the elevator or crushing the plastic. If I look at the hardware that's left, I have 4 pieces. Oh, I know what these are. RVs have pedals on the next to the wing. Now, if you have a tail dragger, steps. If you have a tail dragger, the real one really doesn't have the steps. The one with the nose gear on it and no tail wheel does have one that you can climb in there, and they usually go in like that. But tail draggers usually don't have, or at least Bob's airplane, Alaska Bob as we call them, or Bob Edison, doesn't have any. So I'll be using these. These look like plugs, so I just gotta get the left and the right hand. Whoop, wrong one, wrong side. Get the left and the right one correctly and put it in there. I guess I did have the right one. There you go. So now it's plugged in, so it doesn't look like there's anything there. I'll go ahead and do that on there later on. Other than that, we have one machine screw left. Oh, well, we have the propeller left. So first you put in the back plate. Obviously, then your 3-blade spinner. Now, for clarity, Bob's airplane only has a 2-blade spinner. 2-blade propeller, not spinner. has a 2-blade propeller, so we're looking to getting a 2-blade. This is a 3-blade, I guess 6/8 or the pitch. So we just go, if we're going to a 2-blade, if this is a 6-inch and we get a 7-inch, the pitch the same, you just go one size difference. Something like that. I haven't flown real propellers in a while. I've been doing jets mostly for, I don't know, 20 plus years. Once in a while I dabble into a propeller airplane. It has a nice slot in there, so you can tighten it. The outrigger is a perfect fit. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to pull the shaft out of the motor by over tightening it. That's not going to do you any good, and that's not going to do the airplane any good. Just put it nice and snug. Then you put on your propeller, your spinner, and your machine screw. There you go. There's your basic build of an RV7. From box to getting it ready to go like this took me about, 20 minutes? And that's stopping the video once or twice because my parrots and my dogs get noisy, so I did, have to start a couple of times there. But there is the actual radio layout. Like I said, I'll be putting in my 7-channel Futaba. I have nothing against Spectrum. I just don't use Spectrum. I got Futaba radios. And then once you're done with that, let's take a look at the nice manual. By all means, I'm not showing off. I'm not flexing. All the stuff you see behind me is stuff that I was working on last night, or I'm going to be working on right now. There's a nice long and big instruction manual. Goes through all the stuff I just pointed out. Shows you how to connect the radio, how to do the arming and the bind, how to disable safe if you're not using safe. Requires a 4S 2200 LiPo. It has a smart connector in here for smart batteries. So it almost looks like those yellow connectors would fit in there too. Has a nice detailed instructions of for the control throttle. It has dual rates. Low rate is 12 millimeter for ailerons, and then 16 millimeter, and then but it explains it here pretty well. So it is in English. What appears like German as well, and French, if I'm not mistaken. So the actual manual is in 3 languages. Thanks for watching. Have fun and enjoy your RV7. By the next time you see this, it'll be completely repainted in Royal Navy blue, just like the real one my friend owns.